Howdy. Today we're looking at the Komorex again after the Jade Shadows update. I didn't really think too much about it on my own, but someone pointed out in a comment about the canonade mods and stuff being a thing now, and how it locks your fire rates. And so I thought it was definitely worth giving a look at least. It is unfortunately not as good as I was hoping, though the weapon is still strong. It's always been strong. But the canonade mods aren't as nice as I would have liked. And we'll get to that. So if you don't know, Komorex is a sniper rifle, mostly status based. It has a base fire rate of 5, 20 in the mag, 3-second reload speed, 16% crit chance, which is pretty terrible for a sniper, 2.1 multiplier, 35% status, 40.7 puncture, 46.6 slash, 9.7 impact for a total of 97 damage. And it is mostly puncture and slash weighted. What makes it special is when you scope in, right? Every sniper has a scope in effect. So the normal 2x zoom for the first version of scoping in is negative 50% recoil and plus 2 punch through. So that's decent, but more importantly is when you switch the zoom to 3.5x, you get plus 100% damage. This is additive to serration mods and stuff like that. A 3.6 explosion radius, which is unaffected by prime firestorm, and minus 75% fire rate, which is also additive to mods. So that negative 75% fire rate can be fixed by putting on a fire rate mod. Now, this explosion also has the benefit of viral damage being inherently part of it. And you can see that when you look at the unique trait on the weapon. So that's my Warframe. Here we go. The unique trait, it adds, I don't know why it says 3.5 meters. I could have sworn, didn't it say 3.7 out here or 3.6? Yeah, 3.6, I don't know. 3.5, 3.6, it looks like there's a typo somewhere. But it adds viral damage. It doesn't say how much. The wiki probably says how much. If I had to guess, it's probably like 50 or 100%. It's not a forced proc. It is like viral being modded onto the weapon. The weapon also has a built-in 100% ammo conversion. So you don't need to have an ammo conversion mod on it because it already has 100% built in, which is very nice. So as a sniper, it also has the special bonus to it that only snipers have, which is the combo multiplier, right? The combo window. Now, snipers, if you didn't know, have a combo window, similar to melee weapons. So as I shoot enemies, look at that. Shot combo 1.5x. That is going to multiply our damage, 2x shot combo. And as it goes up, you just get even more damage. Now, it does take even more hits to build up the combo as it goes up, so you're usually not going to go past 3x a lot of the time. When it starts decaying, it decays extremely slowly, so if you're using it throughout the mission, you'll likely always keep your combo up. So that's pretty nice. It gives a hefty amount of damage to the weapon. No. It is, as a sniper, right, you really want to be able to go for headshots. It's a big damage weapon, and it's got 2.1x crit multiplier. You want crits, but the problem is trying to crit with this crit chance is a little painful. You can add in critical delay, and that brings up to 48%, but something like Arcane Avenger would help a lot, or a Riven. I do have a Riven I got from one of my friends. Crit chance, crit damage, status duration. This brings up to 70.4%, which is very, very nice, but we're not going to show it with that yet. Now, you need to fix the horrible fire rates if you are going to actually, not take 12 years to shoot this weapon. So normally what you would do is you would add in something like vial acceleration. Because critical delay is minus 20%, so in the 3.5x zoom, you have minus 95% fire rate. So with vial acceleration, you only have minus 5%. So you still have pretty decent fire rate then. Because the weapon normally has, what was it again? Yeah, 5. So, you'll be sitting at 4.5 fire rate, right? No, 4.75 or something like that. So your fire rate is still more than fine with that. Now, there's some other things you can do, like Target Acquired is a 60% headshot multiplier. It is a sniper rifle exclusive mod, and it is multiplicative with every other headshot multiplier, so this is just a massive 60% increase in damage on headshots. You can also go for primary deadhead for minus recoil, a ton of damage on headshot kills, and 30% more headshot multiplier for even more damage on headshots, which is very, very nice. Where is Galvanized Aptitude is an option. It does obviously give status chance, and you get more damage for every status affecting the enemy. But I honestly am unsure about it, right? Because you'll get more damage with this than if you were to use Amalgam Serration, of course. And you're also going to get more status chance. But if you're using Deadhead, which in most scenarios will be your best option, you already have lots of extra damage. The stats chance is still very nice, but what Serration does is it makes it a lot easier to get the first kills before Deadhead kicks in. Otherwise, you're going to have a real big pain in the ass of a time trying to build up your stacks. So for the sake of comfort, I personally would rather use Amalgam Serration than Galvanized Aptitude. But if you want slightly more damage, then Galvanized Aptitude is an option. As I said earlier, Prime Firestorm does not affect the AoE, so do not use it. Now, where is Hunter Munitions isn't really useful because the weapon has such low base crit chance that you're not going to get enough crits for it to really matter. Plus, Slash isn't nearly as good as it was before Jade Shadows. There's Rifle Elementalist, but this adds punch through, which you'll see in a minute is a bad thing, but the stats damage is nice, but the punch through kind of kills it. Now, the main thing that is out now that we want to talk about is Semi-Rifle Canonade. Only compatible with semi-auto trigger weapons, and this is a semi-automatic weapon normally. Fire rate cannot be modified, plus 240% damage and plus 1.5 punch through. What it means is it locks the fire rate at 5. So a fire rate increase mod like Vial Acceleration does nothing. But a fire rate decrease mod, such as Critical Delay, also doesn't affect the fire rate. You purely get the crit chance. Now, because of how it's coded, as if it was modded in the 3.5x zoom, it cancels out the negative 75% fire rate, as if it wasn't even there. That is a problem, though. Not the fact that it cancels out the fire rate, but the 1.6 punch through. Because on this weapon, it only has the explosion on the direct hits, or sorry, not the direct hit, wherever the bullet ends up. So now with the punch through, if we shoot this guy, the explosion's happening back there on the wall. So we're not getting any viral procs on this enemy. And 1.6 punch through, look. It goes all the way through to like the fourth enemy, or shooting him in the center of the body. Sometimes, look at that. Goes through 4 enemies and out into the wall. 1.6 punch through is a lot more than you would think. So it's kind of a yikes. I personally don't really think it's worth using because the explosion doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but it is applying viral, which is extremely nice. That's the main reason to use this mode, right, is for the AoE viral application. Otherwise, there's not much point in using a 3.5x zoom. Yes, you get 100% added damage, but that's additive. Kind of a sad face. So, I really don't think Semi-Rifle Canonade is worth it, but if you feel like you want to make it work, you can, but that's entirely up to you. Now, let's change this up, because the main ways to use this weapon are going to be corrosive, electric, gas, and that's mostly, you can use heat here. Let's switch over here. This is my pure electric build right here with the Riven. Oh, what's this? This is the blast build. Okay, we want to remove this. And then we have galvanized scope here, but that doesn't really work on blast. I have no idea why the hell I have a galvanized scope on. Target acquired isn't the best option because blast isn't getting headshots, which is unfortunate. What am I looking for here? I'm not quite sure. You could run wildfire. Or you could slap in Galvanized Aptitude for even more damage. Oh yeah, I know what I was missing was Amalgam Serration. Because we do really want Blast procs, I am going to go Galvanized Aptitude. And then Wildfire here because, well, you know, we can, so why not? Now we have Big PP Blast going on. It can be annoying at times to try to get the headshot kills that we need, because Blast does not get headshot kills, but it's not the end of the world. This is a viable way of using the weapon. It's not how I personally would use the weapon, but it is an option. So let's build up our stacks first. We gotta reload already, hang on. There's our first stack. Strip these guys' armor just so it's easier to build up our stacks first. There we go. Now let us murder these guys. We aim in. Look at that. It's got some pretty decent AoE damage going on with the AoE viral, plus it's doing the blast procs. It's not terrible. We still don't have any level of armor strip here. So these guys have 90% damage reduction. If we added an even like corrosive projection, the damage against these guys would skyrocket. So it's very, very viable. It's just not the best option, I'd say. There's definitely better weapons to use when it comes to blast damage. So instead of that, you can run gas damage. So for gas, we would thermite rounds, we would replace rhyme rounds with malignant force here instead. And then we're going to replace wildfire with galvanized scope to help give us higher crit chance. Because gas can indeed get headshots, which is very, very snazzy if you ask me. So let me strip this guy's armor. I missed him because I suck at the game. There we go. Beautiful. 2, 3. Already building up all these delicious stacks. Trying to get all the crit stacks built up with 2 if I can. You can see it does plenty of damage. Big, big, big gas procs. And the built-in viral helps a lot. We don't even have armor strip here, but the viral and the gas together still does plenty of damage. Very good for AoE scenarios. And this is a very easy build to keep going, right? To keep our stacks and stuff up. Now, we could replace something in here with target acquired. Where is it? Yes, target acquired gives a 60% headshot multiplier. And you could replace galvanized scope. You'll get less crits. I don't think the damage difference is really going to matter that much on average, like your DPS. But if you had another source of getting crits, like Arcane Avenger, then target acquired would likely be the better option here. Then you can use heat. Do I want to even show heat? The problem with heat is it can't even get headshots. I don't think heat is worth using. I'm not even going to show it. Now, the way I've been using it lately is electric. Because electric is also able to easily get headshots. It can proc headshot kills. I do have a Rivenant's build. I should take that out because I don't like having to show stuff with a Riven. So we can take that out. And what am I missing here with a Riven out? Oh, duh, fire rate. So I kind of needed to take that out anyways. Doo-dee-da-da-dee-doo, here we go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Now, you do get less AoE than if you have gas on the weapon. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not really sure how to explain it, right? I don't know. I just feel like in using the weapon, electric feels really nice. And I'm quite a big fan of it. Gas does cap out at 10 stacks, whereas electric doesn't have a cap. Overall, I'd say they perform mostly similarly as far as how much damage you're doing. Like you can see, it's not really different for the most part, other than the fact that you get less AoE because you only get 3 meters on the electric procs, like AoE effect, whereas gas at max stacks is like, I want to say 5 meters. But I just feel like this is, I don't know, more snazzy. I think electric damage is bonus against Corpus and Amalgam Corpus. Honestly, of the two, I would just go with whichever you prefer, gas or electric. It's really up to preference. Having a Ribbon is very much worth it because you get the extra, because it has a Dispo 4. So you can use a Ribbon. In this case, we would have to take another mod off though, sadly. Although I think the best one would probably be Vital Sense. Vital Sense for target acquired. It really sucks to lose target acquired if we're going for headshots because it's just such a massive damage bonus. 60%, and we are already trying to get headshots anyways. So I can't even... Oh, I would have to take ammo drum off, right? So we could slot this in instead. Here we go. And now the only difference here really is that my crit damage went down slightly, but I have significantly higher crit chance. So that is quite snazzy. Or in this case over here, like with the gas build, we could take this off, move this over, slap on this delicious Ribbon, and now we actually have much higher crit chance, which is great for more snazzy gas procs. I don't know. Actually, you know, maybe I do prefer gas over electric. I don't know. I've been using this weapon a lot in, like, just running around when I'm performing normal missions and stuff, and they both feel relatively the same, to be perfectly honest. So it's kind of hard to tell which one would be better. If you're killing an enemy that takes many, many shots, you're probably better off with electric because you're going to cap out on gas procs. Like, here, let's shoot this guy right here. 1, 2, 3 shots and he's at max gas procs. Right, like you max out on gas pretty quick. But typically enemies aren't going to take that many shots to kill anyways. Here, if I'm shooting all these enemies in the AoE, then gas is obviously better than electric because they're not so close together. If you were to ragdoll enemies and have them all stuck together, then electric might be a little better because it can like chain between body parts that are ragdolled instead of just the enemy, so multiple enemies can count as multiple body parts, like for each enemy individually. But overall, either one is really going to work. Now, the last way to use it is how I used to use it previously to Jade Shadows, what I'd say was the best option, assuming you don't have armor strip and an outside source, which would be corrosive. And corrosive still works. You do get no or like less AoE going on, but it's still a very viable option. Let's slap on critical delay and vile acceleration. And then the last one is, again, entirely up to preference. You can go galvanized shots or target acquired. I'm just going to stick with target acquired for now, and then we'll replace this with this. Shabam. Now we can do the corrosive. I also have nothing affecting my damage on my Warframe. I forgot to show that earlier, but I'll show that in a minute here so that you can see it's not being tampered with via Warframe arcanes or buffs or anything. This is doing way higher damage per shot, but this is with armor strip, which is something you can fill in somewhere else in your kit quite easily. So it's higher damage, or at least like single target damage, assuming you aren't building into the weapon at all. But if you are, then you're better off using something else. Like, even if you have just corrosive projection, you're likely better off with gas or electric over corrosive. But it's entirely up to what you want to use it for, right? Like, if you're using a build where you don't have armor strip, then you should probably just go corrosive. Because I know not everybody runs armor strip in all their Warframe builds. Wait, shit, here we go. We're wrong place. Yes, see, nothing affecting my damage on my Warframe. If we were to add in something as simple as corrosive projection, where is it? For a little bit of armor strip, and then go back to the gas build, still with a Ribbon, just for, you know, in case you're like, oh, you left the Ribbon on. Yes, I know, I mentioned that. Big whoa. Come back over here, strip this guy's armor, even though I have corrosive projection on, I guess that wasn't really necessary. Now we build up our stacks. maxed out for the most part. And look at this damage here. Let me shoot this guy once. Look at that. One shot will kill him. Beautiful. It's got some pretty huge damage. And the reason for that is that armor scales linearly now after Jade Shadows. So if the enemy's at 2700, which these guys are, which is the cap for armor, that's 90% damage reduction. Corrosive Projection strips 18% of their armor. You are then dealing nearly triple the damage with just Corrosive Projection, assuming you have no other source of armor strip. So Corrosive doesn't have that much value, but it is an option. I'm not really sure what else to go over with the weapon. The main reason of doing this video was just to go over the fact that semi-rifle canonade does have a big problem of punch-through. If there was a way to lock punch-through or remove it or something, like if negative punch-through was a ribbon stat, but it's not, that would be pretty snazzy, because this will give more damage than like Amalgam Serration or something, while also completely freeing up your fire rate slot, because you won't have to run fire rate to fix the negative fire rate. But it's just not worth it when you have to give up that AoE viral explosion. So that's a bit of a yowzes. That's going to do it for the updated Komorex video. If you liked the video, then leave a like, subscribe. Adios.